Namaste friends, a very warm welcome to Sayuji Yoga with Prutha and Hardik. I'm Prutha Bhatt and today I'm solving December 2019 paper. Now friends, if you want to check the June 2019 paper, please check the above cards or the description in the below links. Let's begin. So the very first question on the screen is, what is the purpose of Sankhya Shastra? And the correct answer is option number B, Dukkha Nivaran. Now friends, the very first karika of Sankhya starts with Dukkha Trayabhighata Tat Jignasa Tat Paghatake Hetau. Okay, so the purpose or the prayojan of Sankhya Shastra is discussed in first two verses. Now there are three kinds of dukkha: Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik and Adhyatmik. And these dukkha attack us from all the sides, that is Abhighata, and removal of this dukkha traya is the goal or the purpose of Sankhya Shastra. So we can say that the purpose of Sankhya Shastra is Dukkha Nivaran. There can also be a questions that what are the different types of dukkha. So you can say that dukkha traya is of three kinds: Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik and Adi Daivik. Let's move further. The next question is, what is the meaning of word yoga in the first sutra of Patanjali Yoga Sutra according to Vyasa Bhashya? And the correct answer is option number C, Samadhi. Now friends, we all know that Vyasa was the commentator who has written a commentary on Patanjali Yoga Darshan. Now according to him, the meaning of word yoga is nothing but Samadhi. Okay, so when he writes commentary on the first sutra, he says that Yoga Samadhi, okay, which means that yoga is Samadhi, that is yoga is concentration, and Samadhi is the feature of the mind in all its habitual states. The next question is, what are the Purushartha Chatushtya? Okay, and the correct answer is option number D, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Okay, now if you see, there are so many options given, but you should always remember that whenever there is a question about Purushartha Chatushtya, only for Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Now, what does Purushartha mean? Purushartha means goals, okay, goals or aims of human life. And what is Chatushtya? 4. So Purushartha Chatushtya means 4 goals or 4 aims of human life. And what are they? Dharma, that is righteousness; Artha, that is prosperity or to earn wealth; Kama, that is desires; and Moksha is complete freedom or liberation. So always remember, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is your Purushartha Chatushtya. The next question is, who is the founder of Sankhya Darshan? Okay, and the correct answer is option number C, Kapila Muni. Now friends, we all know that Sankhya is one of the 6 Astik Darshanas. Okay, and Kapila Muni is the propagator of Sankhya Darshan. So now if you see, this is the question about who is the founder. Okay, so there can be a question about who is the founder of Patanjali Yoga Darshan, who is the founder of Nyaya Darshan. So let me just give you the details very quickly. Sankhya Darshan, Kapila Muni; Yoga Darshan, Muni Patanjali; Nyaya Darshan, Gautam Rishi; Vaisheshik, Kanada Rishi; Mimamsa, Jaimini, and Vedanta is Vyasa. So if there are questions like this, you can easily answer. Let's move further. The next question is, which technique is mentioned for Brahma Anubhuti in Bhrigu according to Taittiriya Upanishad? And your correct answer is option number C, Tapa. Taittiriya Upanishad is divided into 3 sections: Shikshavalli, Brahmanandavalli and Bhrigu. Okay, now according to Bhrigu, Tapa is the technique of Brahma Anubhuti. Okay, now Bhrigu opens with Bhrigu approaching his father Varuna to seek knowledge about the Supreme Brahma. Varuna said to Bhrigu that food, that is Anna, Prana, Chakshu, Shotra, Mana and Vacha are Brahma. Bhrigu was keen to know more about the Supreme Being and the ultimate reality of life, for which he underwent all the necessary disciplines. The implication is that he withdrew his mind from the outer objects and concentrated upon and performed austerities, that is nothing but a tapa, to understand what his father said. That is, he performed tapa to have Brahma Anubhuti. So, which is our answer? The technique for Brahma Anubhuti according to Bhrigu is tapa. The next question is, prana is compared to what in Prashnopanishad? And the correct answer is option number A, Aditya. Now friends, Prashnopanishad is in the form of conversation between sage Pipalada and 6 seekers. Now once Kabandi, who was one of the seekers, asked the question to his master sage Pipalada, from what all the praja arise? That is, he wanted to know the source of the creation. To him, sage Pipalada replied, Prajapati, who was desirous of offspring, performed pinas, that is tapa. By that, he produced a pair. Pair of what? Pair of prana, which is energy, which is chetan tattva, and rai, which is matter or jada tattva, that is nothing but prakruti, so that they would bring forth innumerable creatures. And this prana is compared to Aditya, that is sun, and the rai is compared to Chandra, that is moon. Now friends, there can also be a question that rai is compared to what? Okay, so I have given you the answers. For more questions on Upanishad, you can check the above cards. I have made videos on Upanishad MCQs as well. Let's move further. Which is related to Paravidya in following? And the correct answer is option number A, Aksharagnana. According to Upanishads, there are two kinds of knowledge which has to be acquired. Okay, the first is Aparavidya, that is the lower knowledge, and Paravidya, that is higher knowledge. What is Aparavidya? Knowledge of 4 Veda and 6 Vedangas are considered in Aparavidya. 4 Vedas, as we all know, Rigveda, Samveda, Atharvaveda, Yajurveda, and 6 Vedanga, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chanda, and Jyotish, comes under Aparavidya. And what is Paravidya? Paravidya is the knowledge by which the immutable and imperishable Atman or Brahman is realized. The knowledge of imperishable Brahman is known as Akshara Gnana. Okay, so Akshara Gnana is related to Paravidya, whereas if you see the other options are Rigveda, Yajurveda, Nirukta are related to Aparavidya. So our answer is Akshara Gnana is related to Paravidya. Let's move further. The question is, Varna, Swara, Matra, Bala, Sama, Sandhi, these are essence of Shiksha. The above statement is from which Upanishad? And your correct answer is option number C, Taittiriya Upanishad. Friends, Shiksha is the science of pronunciation. It deals with sound, pitch, quantity, force, modulation and combination. So this is being given in Taittiriya Upanishad. Let's move further. Aitareya Upanishad is related to which Veda? And the correct answer is option number C, Rigveda. Now friends, if you see this question, they have asked which Upanishad is related to which Veda. So like this way, they can ask you that Prashna Upanishad is related to which Veda, or Nadabindu Upanishad is related to which Veda, etc., etc. So at least be aware of the principal Upanishad and the Yoga Upanishad, and they are related to which Veda, because there will be one question like that. So if you are aware, you can easily answer such questions. The next question is, practice of Manonigraha is described in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and the correct option is option number C, Abhyasa and Vairagya. Now friends, concept of Manonigraha can be found in shloka number 35 of chapter number 6, that is Dhyana Yoga. Now Krishna explains to Arjuna that it is difficult to control the restless mind, but through Abhyasa and Vairagya, that is with practice and renunciation, it can be restrained. The next question is, as per Yoga Vasishtha, study of scriptures, contemplation, association with the enlightened beings, and the knowledge of non-attachment is the stage of knowledge, that is Jnana. And the correct option is option number C, reflection or Vicharana. According to Yoga Vasishtha, there are 7 stages of Gnana, and they are also known as Sapta Gnana Bhumika. So there can also be a question that which are the 7 bhumikas or which are the Sapta Gnana Bhumikas, or arrange these bhumikas in sequential order. You should be able to answer this very well. So which are the 7 Gnana Bhumikas? The first is Shubhecha, Vicharana, Tanumanasa, Sattvapatti, Asansakti, Padartha Bhavani and Turyaga. So they can ask you in any order, but you should be able to answer this. The next question is, as per Yoga Vasishta, which of the following elements are the 4 gatekeepers of salvation? If you see, they have given you a lot of confusing options. Somewhere they have written the Sanskrit name, somewhere they have given English name, somewhere they have given mixture of both. So read this very carefully before answering this. And the option number is C, that is serenity, that is Shama, thinking, that is Vicharana, complacence and association of saints. Okay, now friends, Shanti, which is also known as Shama. So instead of Shama, they can ask you Shanti. So Shanti, Vichara, Santosha and Satsang are the 4 gatekeepers of salvation. Now Shanti is self-control, Vichara is spirit of inquiry, Santosha is contentment of or complacence, Satsang is company of wise or enlightened people. Now friends, these 4 are the 4 surest means by which those who are drowning in the ocean of Sansara can be saved. Okay, now Shanti gives supreme happiness, Vichara gives greatest wisdom, contentment, that is Santosha, gives supreme gain, and the Satsanga gives best companion to the destination. Okay. The wise seekers should therefore diligently cultivate the friendship of these 4, if not for at least one of these, and the other 3 would be found in the seeker in the due course of time. Now, until one tames the wild elephant of his or her mind with these 4 noble qualities, one cannot progress towards the supreme. So, in order to reach towards the supreme, one has to cultivate friendship with Shanti, Vichara, Santosha and Satsanga. The next question is, as per Trishika Brahmana Upanishad, the very feeling of indifference is, and the correct answer is option number C, Asan. Now friends, if you see, sometimes to confuse you, they would give the question in some twisted manner. Okay, so I would strongly recommend that if you don't understand the English sentence or English question, go to the Hindi drop down, select and answer accordingly. At times it will be very easy to answer by looking at the Hindi drop down, so don't forget this. Go to Hindi drop down, understand the question and then answer accordingly. So here the answer is option number C, Asan. The next question is, as per Yoga Tattva Upanishad, what is the prescribed timeline of dharana of Pancha Mahabhuta? And the correct answer is option number C, 5 Ghatikas. Now friends, according to Yoga Tattva Upanishad, one should attain mastery over Pancha Mahabhuta by forcing prana in the region of these Mahabhuta and meditating along with the Bija Mantra for a period of 5 Ghatikas on the Lord of that particular Mahabhuta. By performing these 5 dharana, one becomes strong and never meets death even when merging with Brahman. So the correct answer is 5 Ghatikas. Next question is, as per Yoga Tattva Upanishad, how many parts of Hatha Yoga are mentioned? And the correct answer is option number D, 8 parts. Now friends, you must be wondering, how come 8 parts in Hatha Yoga? So let me explain. According to Yoga Tattva Upanishad, yoga is divided in many kinds on account of its action, and those are Mantra Yoga, Laya Yoga, Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. Now there are 4 states common to all of these. Which are they? Arambha, Ghata, Parichay and Nishpatti Avasthas. And Hatha Yoga is said to possess the 8 subservience. Which are they? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. You must be wondering that these are the Ashtanga Yoga limbs or Raja Yoga limbs. So, let me explain. One must note that the Yoga Tattva Upanishad does not clearly differentiate between Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. So according to this, the goal of Hatha Yoga is achieved through Raja Yoga, and Raja Yoga is an umbrella term that includes Hatha Yoga. Okay friends, so in this Upanishad there is no clear-cut demarcation between Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. So the next question is, according to Nadabindu Upanishad, the yogic practice of Nada Shravana ought to be undertaken in which asana or mudra? And the correct answer is option number C, Siddhasana and Vaishnavi Mudra. Now friends, Nadabindu is 30th of 108 Upanishad and forms part of Rigveda. Now this Upanishad is the philosophy of sound Om. What is Nadabindu? Nada is the sound heard in the ear during the deep meditation, and Bindu is the dot or the starting point. Sound of Om is the starting point of the cosmos. The cosmos begins out of Bindu and it dissolves back in the Bindu. Now, Vairagya Vidya is the meditative technique to get rid of all the sins. Through this technique, one can have Nada Shravana in the deep state of meditation. And this is to be practiced by assuming Siddhasana and adopting Vaishnavi Mudra. So our answer is Siddhasana and Vaishnavi Mudra. So the next question is, as per Nadabindu Upanishad, what is the yogic technique to be aware of Omkara? And the correct answer is option number B, Dharana. Friends, we all know that Omkar is made up of 3.5 matras. Okay, the first matra is Akar and the Deva for Akara is Agni. The second matra is Ukara and Deva for Ukara is Vayu. Third matra is Makara and the Deva for Makar is Surya. And the last is Ardha matra, which is the superior to all, and the Deva for which is Varuna. Now friends, each of these matra, each of the 4 matras has further 3 subsounds. Okay, so therefore Om has 12 subsounds. Okay, and meditating on the sound of each of this at the time of death confers different rewards. Now this Om can be known by Dharana, okay, which is the answer. So the yogic technique to become aware of Omkar is Dharana, and further it leads to Dhyana and Samadhi. So friends, Nadabindu Upanishad is the Upanishad which talks about the secret meaning of syllable Om. Let's move further. As per Maharshi Patanjali, which of the following is meant for execution of Bhoga and Apavarga? So the correct answer is option number B, Drashya. Now friends, reference of this can be found in Sutra number 18 of Sadhana Path of Patanjali Yoga Darshan. Okay, which is Sutra number 18. Prakasha Kriya Stishilam Bhuta Indriya Atmakam Bhoga Apavargatham Drashyam. Okay, so that is the answer, option number B, Drashya. Now friends, Prakasha Kriya Stishilam is the attributes of Drashya. Bhuta Indriya Atmakam is the Swarupa of Drashya. And Bhoga and Apavargatham is the Prayojan of Drashya. Now friends, let me explain you in detail. What is nature of Drashya? 10 Bhuta. What are 10 Bhuta? 5 Mahabhuta and 5 Tanmatra. And 13 Indriya. What are 13 Indriya? 5 Karmendriya, 5 Gnanendriya, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar can be counted as Drashya. So therefore there are total 23 elements of Drashya. What are attributes of Drashya elements? Drashya elements are Prakasha Shila, that is Sattva Guna, Kriya Shila, which is Rajo Guna, and Sthiti Shila, which is Tamo Guna. So the Drashya elements possess Sattva, Raja and Tama, that is Triguna. Now what is the purpose of their existence? Purpose of their existence is for providing bhoga, that is experience, and apavarga or liberation to Purusha. So Drashya elements exist to provide bhoga and apavarga to the Purusha or Drashta. The next question is, With which of the following gnana one is equipped by experiencing restraint in sopakrama and nirupakrama? And the correct answer is option number C, death. Now friends, this is about one of the siddhis obtained by various sanyamas. Now reference can be found in sutra number 32nd of chapter number 3, that is Vibhuti Pada of Patanjali Yoga Darshan. Sopakrama nirupakramam cha karma tat sanyamat aparanta gnanam arishtebhyoh va. Okay friends, so what is aparanta gnanam? Aparanta gnana is knowledge of death and arishta is indicative sign. What indicative sign? Signs that indicate death. Okay. The yogi can get aparanta gnana by performing sanyama on karma. What karma? Sopakrama and nirupakrama. What is sopakrama? Sopakrama is the karma that gives result in this birth. Nirupakramas are the karma that will give result in the future births. This kind of knowledge is possible only for a yogi because yogi can perform sanyama on sopakrama and nirupakrama. The common person can't have sanyama but can definitely observe arishtas and know about aparanta gnanam. So we should know that these arishtas are of three types, which are adhyatmik, adibhautik and adidaivik. Let's move further. As per Maharshi Patanjali, stability and dissolution of chitta in grahita, grahana and graya is termed as, and the correct answer is option number C, samapatti. Friends, we all know that sutra number 41 of chapter number 1 Samadhi Pada talks about concept of samapatti. And what is that? Kshina vritte abhijatasya iva mane grahita grahana grayeshu tatastha tadanjanata samapattihi. So the correct answer is option number C, samapatti. Thank you friends for joining me for this video. Hope this video was useful for you. Please tune in to get regular updates about the new videos, about NET examination and also some important yogic practices. Thank you. Namaste.